Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, earlier today, some of you were with me. You know that we did a specific message that was also kind of a really great one for the energy around the full moon, which today is the full moon, but just know that it's kind of always like a 3 day window. That video I will re release tomorrow. I'm sorry, but for whatever reason, it just got bogged down in that endless processing cycle. So I have to wait until tomorrow to make it re-visible. So some of you were with me in the live, but everyone who wasn't, just know that'll come out again tomorrow. Okay. You guys won't miss out on it. But in the meantime, I want to take a look at a love message, but a little bit more like what is the message about love that the universe is trying to like project toward a character. Like if the moon could send us a message, what would it be? The moon is that gravitational pull. So, what is it trying to like, pull us toward? If the universe is trying to bring us toward something, what would that be in regards to love? Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. Violet. Hey, babe. Nikki O, Ginger Montague, Karami, Hamida Bano, Fallen Raven, Bobby Harris, Andrea Vargas, Empress Unicorn 111. So wonderful to see you, babe. Thanks for being here. So the thing that the universe seems to be pulling a character toward is happiness. Not just happiness, but collaboration, cooperation, family style cooperation. The universe is trying to let a character know there's like, don't give up on the concept of like the family unit or the ability to have like partnership where two people make lighter work by actually sharing a future together and nurturing whatever it is the two of them both would like their lives to turn into, whether it's a baby, whether it's a business, whatever this is. It just says right now the message from the universe is like it's wanting characters to not give up on the idea of partnership and being able to, like, we don't walk this earth alone. We're not even supposed to have to feel that way. But particularly where love is concerned, love is very much out there. Partnerships absolutely are out there for this character. There is a beautiful outcome for this character, and it says don't give up on that. I mean, sure, a character can choose not to have a partnership. That's fine. But this is specifically a love tarot message where I'm asking what is the message that this supermoon is trying to like tug a character's attention toward. And it is very positive. We have a 7 of Swords. Somebody's been told a web of lies, or they're starting to believe in a lie. We have a 5 of Cups. We have the Temperance. So that 7 of Swords is always a card of lies, right? Somebody is saying, I can't trust that my intuition knows anything. I can't trust my guides. It hasn't happened yet. And this almost says it not only could it still happen, it could still happen during this year of the snake. Don't start thinking that, no, it's not going to happen. That's a fantasy. That, this unicorn on a wishing well, that's nothing but hogwash. Unicorns aren't real. Wishing wells aren't real. I would say no wonder the universe is trying to send a little message to a character and say the concept of partnership and collaboration is definitely not like some pipe dream. Don't start saying I don't trust my instincts anymore. And anytime I get excited about something, it always turns into trash. This is like, no, that's where the lie is. We don't want to start telling ourselves things are, everything is a lie, especially when it comes to partnership. Especially, I mean, there are great people all over this earth, and we all pretty much want the same thing, right? We all want to be respected. We all want to be, treated like we matter. So maybe if we treat other people like they matter, without over giving, but instead, like, just operate like I assume everybody is a fantastic person who wants the same stuff that I do. I'll give to a certain extent, and then I'll see if they want to match me. Not everybody will. Some people will just be like, oh my God, it feels so good to finally be treated nice. I want them to treat me more nice. And they won't be in a place where they're able to say, oh, and I want to treat you nice too. But that doesn't mean that it's, love is a lie or that nobody good is out there. And I love that because the universe is like, be ferociously peaceful, be ferociously aware that we create the balance in our life. No, we cannot this tiger cannot make the ocean flow in a new direction, but we do have to ride the waves of emotions, but we should always be like saying, I'm not going to get too high nor too low when it comes to any relationship. I'm not going to say if they disappoint me once, then see, there we go, reinforce the idea that nobody's any good. We have to be more mellow about it, more accepting that we're all going to have our good days, our bad days. Sometimes people we love are going to disappoint us. Where I think we draw the line, though, on that is if somebody's enjoying disappointing us, enjoying harming us, then absolutely hell to the no. That we don't deal with people like that. Or if we're not sure about what we want, but we want somebody to make our life better, that might also be like, maybe I need to work on me a bit first. But all of this just says, with those parameters maybe laid out, our character, if they stay really strong and flexible and balanced and realize it's nice to get to know people, even though not everybody's going to be our one and only great love. But that doesn't mean because of bad past encounters that everybody must be garbage, nor does it mean that the next person we meet who mildly matches us, they must be the best one for us. This is all about having to go with the flow a little bit and not be too much of expecting everything to be oh so perfect, because then we set ourselves up for a really big crash. And also, similarly, not walking around saying everything is a lie anyway, so let's be nihilists. It's somewhere in between of being like, you got to flow a little bit, but still have some outward boundaries, but also be optimistic, because there's great people and the world's full of great people that would love to have a great relationship, but it does require a little bit of grace and a little bit of flexibility. I like that message, because if ever during this full moon, if there's some gravitational pull, and that's the bigger message, where the universe is like, I'm using this moon, it's real close to the earth right now, and it's trying to bring something up from the subconscious that you already know. It's that, like, don't be thinking everything is miserable, nor be living on la la land. Somewhere between the two is where happiness and reality lies. And I think that's a way better way to look maybe at life. It's look, I made some food last night. We had a party, a little celebration, and it was all edible, right? But it wasn't that good. It was a bummer. But it wasn't the end of the world. We still had a nice time. Was it the best party as far as food goes? Hell no. I would rate my food at about a 5. I tried these recipes and none of them worked. And I knew probably that they wouldn't, but I had to try them out anyway. So it was, it is what it is. But you know what? It was all edible. Wasn't, it's not like I put toothpaste in, the the pico de gallo or something. It wasn't like an epic fail, right? So it still worked out. And that sometimes is life too. Today's, we're just rocking a 5. Today, or the most recent love story that I had, is about a 5, but I don't need to say, oh, that person was just, horrible, blah, 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 blah. That's so disappointing, and I'm so disappointed, and there's nobody good. The universe, be a little bit more middle of the road on stuff. We do have the devil, and we do have that 3 of Swords here also, which is also one last encouragement, which says, don't get scared of getting our heart broken. Because here's the thing. Our hearts are made of tissue, and it's highly vascular, and it's very resilient, and it can do a lot of healing. So even if we get, if you pull a muscle or something, your calf hurts, but it heals up. Even if you tear a muscle, it can get sewn back up, can heal. We're more resilient than we think. So there's no point in walking around too scared about but what if I get a heart broken? What if I do fall in love with somebody and they turn out to be no good and they turn out to break my heart? It's but don't be too scared of that, because you'll survive that too. It'll suck, for sure. It'll suck, but it won't be an epic fail. You'll be all right. And I kind of like all of this, because it's making everything so much more it's just simply drawing up what every character already knows. We will get heartbroken, and we will also live through it. It will hurt. It will make us angry for a while. We will be little monsters for a bit, because we're going to be real mad and real hurt, but we're going to live through it, and we'll be ready to do it again. We'll be ready to love again. and we'll meet other people, and others might be better and some others might be worse, but it all of this says we're going to be all right. This is, thank God we're so resilient. So don't let fear of getting hurt stop us, because that the fear of getting hurt, the hurt's not going to be the end of the world. Even if it's a heartbreak, we will get through that also. So there's no reason to be so scared after all. And I just think that our character already knows that. Now they can go at love with a little bit more gusto. Ace of Wands, Six of Swords in the reverse. It's interesting because the universe also says, and don't give up on the things that you really want. Don't say, well, I guess my standards were too high. I guess now I should just be happy with anybody that's mildly okay. The universe is like, no, you're missing the point here. Be passionate about what you care about. In fact, be more mindful about the things that you want. Don't give up on the kind of relationship that you want, or the kind of, person that you'd want to be with, or the kind of life you'd like to live. But maybe it's more important, because aces are personal. It's more important to say, remember what you are attracted to and what you like and what you want is really maybe the most important factor in who you pick. It's not even like, well, this person can do this for me and I'll like that. It's like, no, what do you really like? What attracts you to that person? Consider that, and don't give up on looking for the thing that you're most attracted to. Don't settle, nor expect perfection, nor be afraid of heartbreak, nor, all of this is just, it's all stuff that I think any character knows, but this full moon is just amplifying it. And if anything, rejuvenating a character and saying, remember, what you're drawn to begins with what your taste is. Don't give up on that. If there's something that you really particularly like, or something you're particularly drawn to, maybe question, why am I drawn to a certain personality type? Do I like somebody who's super charismatic and that's what turns me on? Okay, but are they also charismatic with everybody else? Then do I have a tendency to fall for people that are just, like, they've polished their skills and charisma? Because maybe I want that, but I want somebody who's also like more of a family person. Okay, that would alter what am I really seeking then. Don't give up on what you want, but also, if anything, it says get out there and date for the Three of Cups. Know that there's a lot of people that will almost fit the bill. If you're interviewing for a job position, you go through the resumes, and then you get your collection of your seemingly best 10, and then you bring those 10 in maybe, and you interview each one. Even if you're pretty sure you're going to hire number 2, you might still interview the other ones and be certain. And it just kind of is like, if our character could look at dating a little bit more like, I'm looking for what I like, and while many candidates could have so much of what I like, I'm looking for somebody that also matches what I see for my own future. Because 3 people can all be charismatic and very attractive to me. But now I ask a few extra questions about, what do they like? What's their vision for the future? What kinds of things do they care about? Do they like going out every single night, or is it just from some fun? I want somebody who matches some of the things that I like to do, so we're more compatible. And it just says, begin with a baseline of what you want, and then don't be afraid to keep looking until you find it. That shouldn't be disappointing. It should be, you're in charge and you're seeking what you would like. And that's hopefully more like empowering to say, yeah, that's right. I'm looking for not just a great person, but a great person that matches me in what we both, would like to have. We have an 8 of Wands. We have the Hanged Man. The last thing the universe says during this full moon is, that's awesome. Once you've found what you think you want, once you're gravitating toward it, also let some time elapse to see how, it doesn't have to be instant that I met somebody, so now we must go from 0 to 100 immediately. We're vibing, we have the same interests, they're what I'm attracted to, I'm what they're attracted to, so now we need to instantly jump into long-term commitment. This is like, okay, enjoy that process. Enjoy the with this person, it's great. We give ourselves time to see all facets of one another's character. it's not just looking at love from our perspective, but also really then learning what does love look like from their perspective. Like this could be a great example of different love languages, because two people can have so much in common, right? Think of it like this. I have international friends, right? And we have like I one of my Greek friends, like their family is so much like my family. So it's very comfortable for me. I completely understood his family because they're much like my family. And that's easy to be around, right? But we still spoke a different language. And I speak very little Greek. He spoke much better English. And so I relied heavily on his intelligence to be able to like really build the friendship. But I will say, even if we hadn't had great language skills, still the similarities that I could see in the way he was, the way his family was, all of that still matches. You can identify similarities, but you can still have a language barrier. And that can also produce, conflict or confusion sometimes, even though the actual like technical things that make you easy company and you can be around people that you just vibe with without the language skills. But at the end of the day, the language skills can still be a problem. So even two people that maybe share the same vision for the future, if they haven't figured out, in this case, now we're talking about love language, not just friendships and, conversation, but two people that have the same vision for the future, if they can't talk about it, or if they see the love the same way, but they have a different way of expressing it, and the other one hasn't learned how to interpret what their language is, that could be a big problem. So it says take time to learn that bit too. The actions are great, the attraction is great, but then take time to get to know them from their perspective. Do all the words you say mean the same thing to their ears? Does the way you display caring and love to them mean the same thing that it means to you? And it's kind of cool to think that that's the other maybe missing component, which is, we're looking at it from one character's viewpoint, saying they're going to be attracted to what they're attracted to, try to go out and meet what they want to meet, find what they like. And then at some point it says, now don't forget, understand how they see love and what they need to also understand that they're loved. Because we might think, well, I'm showing you love all the time. And they're like, that's not how I see love. I didn't know that was you showing me love, and that could be a problem. So I don't know, it's just kind of a nice, like gentle nudge to say, this whole love thing is less complicated than we think. Because my big takeaway from this whole thing is that the universe is saying, don't despair. Don't make it so hard. Make it fun. It should be fun. It should be enjoyable. And to boot, you're allowed to want what you want and be attracted to what you want. And you're allowed to seek it and find it. But that too should be enjoyable, not a drag. And then when you do find it, that too should still be, give it some time and really get to know the other person's perspective on things. And all of it is just a fun, or could be more of a fun way to look at love instead of this drag. And I think that's probably one of the greatest like full moon messages ever, because I think every character knows love should be enjoyable. That's why we want it, because it is enjoyable. But oh my God, when we make it into this nightmare of I've been, brokenhearted and I won't heal. And if I do it again, I'll get broken again. And I can't bear to be broken again. And the universe is like, come on now. Let's mellow this out just a smidge. Maybe we've amplified this a bit too much. Let's bring it back to center a little bit. Now let's make it a little bit more fun. Now let's make it a little bit more reasonable. And it just might work a little smoother, a little calmer. I don't know. It's kind of awesome. Oh my God, Chrissy, thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. Chrissy just gifted 5 more memberships, you guys. Julie Engerman, Linda, Carrie, Paris Jade, Humphrey, and Nani. You guys are all members now, courtesy of Chrissy. Thank you so much, babe. That was so generous of you, honey. That means you guys, of course, can tap into the members corner now. Every Monday, I post a new members only video, and there's a playlist for members. And in each one of those Monday videos, I always kind of explain to you guys, what we do in the members corner. So just sometime before next Monday, definitely, if you're a new member, pop into the members playlist and check out our latest members video. It'll be the first one at the top of the list of the members videos that'll pop up on that playlist. And I just kind of explain things so that you know what to be able to hop in and, participate in. So our last two cards here, we go back to that Seven of Swords and we have the Hanged Man. And this is kind of the final message here for I think the universe's like encouragement during this full moon, which is, I think we maybe have a feminine who's actually been running from love. There's been somebody that she already knows is attracted to her and she's been pushing it away. Maybe she's too scared to get her heart broken. Maybe she's like, no, there's no way. That person's too hot. Or no, I'm a year older than them. I'm 43. They're 42. I couldn't possibly date them. This says there's something that she's running from or not being honest about herself with, which is that there's somebody who is already on her radar and she's on theirs. And I think that there's somebody quite lovely in her environment that she knows could be somebody, but she's not letting herself explore it. And maybe that's why this whole message was like trying to reassure and calm and soothe and bring the concept of love out of the realm of like, I'm freaking out. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to lie to myself. I don't want to think somebody's great. I don't want to get into something and then how much you want to bet it'll still go to hell in a handbasket after I get my hopes up. Like this whole storyline, we could see somebody who's been around the block a time or two and has been wounded and cracked and scarred and disillusioned. And this whole message has really been from the universe to someone who's been through it. And it's not like the universe isn't understanding. It's more like the universe is like enveloping this feminine in a nice hug. And like, like I'm picturing like the universe is like stroking her hair and saying, I know it's been difficult, but you're upset right now. And we're going to calm this down. And you'll see, it'll feel better. You'll look at it again and the things that you know to be true will resurface. You're just upset right now, but and in fact, you also know that there's somebody lovely on your periphery right now. I kind of dig this. The fact that the universe is like it's understanding of what she's been through. It's not denying the pain that she's been through or dismissing her fears, but it is drawing up what she also knows to be true, which is there's more love out there for you. And there, in fact, already is somebody that you have to, though, make the decision to let them in. Two of Wands. She does have somebody on her mind or in her realm, somebody that, and this could be very subtle, but it's there. Somebody that she knows has like looked at her and she filed it away in the back of her mind. And she's like, I know that person's interested. And I know that if I expressed interest in them, something could happen here, but I have been running from it and telling myself, no, 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 no. And I think that's what the whole purpose of this entire story has been. We have somebody who's been pushing all of this away and insisting there's a reason, not that there isn't love out there, but that there's more specifically a reason this one person couldn't possibly be somebody to take a bit of a risk on. I don't know why she's pushing away a particular potential, but the universe is just saying, if they're drawn to you, and they could be a little shy, they could be a Pisces, they could have a little bit of a dreamscape energy to them. They could be waiting for a little bit of a signal from her. And if she's never going to give the signal, then they'll probably never approach. But the reason they're drawn to you, feminine, is because they find you really attractive. And if anything, even if she's not attracted to them, fine. Don't do anything with it, of course. But at least take the compliment and just know that there are people who are interested in you that you might be pushing away. So don't say there's no good ones out there and there's nobody who's interested and there's nobody truthful and there's nobody this or that. You might be pushing away some options because you're not ready to deal with it right now, and that's fine. But at least take the compliment of knowing that there are people that are drawn to you, whether you're drawn to them or not, again, irrelevant. It's just take the compliment where the compliment is. But if there is somebody that you're kind of interested in out there, and you already know they're interested in you, however subtle, and I do think this was a very subtle overture because it's dependent upon whether or not she wants to invite them in. It just says, no, she holds all the cards. This storyline, whether this is a masculine or feminine the universe has been talking to throughout this, The universe is just saying, no, at the end of the day, you get to decide what you do in the context of love. You could definitely draw somebody in. There's already somebody that likes you. And you don't have to be ready for that, but just don't tell yourself that there's nobody, it's all trash, because that isn't true. And you know this. And I think she does. This has been like a real shot of self-esteem for her, or that's the way it should have come out of my mouth. I'm not sure that I said it necessarily in that, but this was a huge pep talk from the universe, as well as like a little bit of truth talk from the universe, as well as calling her out just a little smidge, simply to get her to acknowledge, darling, you know, somebody likes you, and you've been through a lot, so you kind of want to push the whole thing away and say it's all just going to be a disappointment, but you actually know better. I kind of think she might be tempted, and she's been trying to not get any hopes up. That's more what I think of. But at the end of the day, the universe just reminds her, whatever you're going to do, please just know that you're amazing. Please just know that you are definitely somebody who would make a wonderful partner should you choose to say yes. And please know that there are people that would love a shot to be your partner. That part you know to be true, and it's time to bring that up from the subconscious and put it right here in the forefront of your mind, because lying to yourself about that is not going to do you any favors. I do love this. I mean, I feel like the universe has been like a really good friend to her and telling her something she needed to hear, which is, darling, you're amazing, and you need to know that, and you need to acknowledge that. So I like the universe's pep talk on this for sure. Guys, thank you again. It's really good to see everyone. You guys are so awesome. Rising Justice, you're so cute. Yes, that dream was difficult. I had to plan somebody's wedding, and I was so scared I would do it all wrong. And anyway, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Bobby, hi. Baby Yoda peeking, hi. Divine Strength, hi, babe. Good to see you. Robin G. Thanks again, Chrissy. You're so sweet. Oh, thank you so much, Dawn. It's getting cold, and I've been digging out my boxes of winter clothes now. Hi, Ramon. Nice to see you. Oh, Robin G, that's awesome. Myra J, Anisha Chetu, Empress Unicorn, Julie Collins. Hi. Hi, LJ. Thank you. RS Love, wonderful to see you. And Combe C, hi. Ginger Montague. Small TV, hi, babe. So good to see you. RS Love, you're so sweet. Thank you, hon. And Bruce like Violence, you were first in the house. And Nikki O, awesome to see you. Hi, Hamida. And Karami, thanks again. Felon Raven, awesome to hang out with you tonight. Andrea Vargas. Oh, Mama Eagle, hi. That's awesome. I love that. You heard Wedding Moon. I love that. TK to Don Kelly, nice to see you. Rachel Flory, wonderful to see you again tonight. All right, you guys, take care. I'm going to be, Holly, I'm sorry, I almost missed you there. Hi, babe. And Patricia, hi, sweetie. Heather Cadrick, oh my God, how did I almost scroll past you guys? Henny, Tina's just passing time. Claire, awesome to see you guys. Hi, Katie. All right, everyone. I will see you again on the other side. We're going to get the last 3 zodiacs done. I'll see you guys in just a few. Lots of love. Bye for right now.